Dear students, in this video we are going to deal with the concept of cost. As we know, cost is related to the production and production is related to the producer. So costs are related to the producer, and we all know that we are dealing with the unit producer's behavior. So the concepts are related to the producer. Let us start the concept of cost. What do you mean by the cost? Actually, when we talk about the production, in production we use different raw materials and we purchase those raw materials either from the market or we are having self-owned materials, raw materials. So when we talk about the production of a commodity, so for the production of a commodity we made certain expenditures, we have certain expenses on factor inputs, or we can say factors of production, because we purchase factors of production from the market to produce the commodity. So we can define cost as cost of producing a commodity is the payment made to the factors of production which are used in the production of that commodity. So if we are producing a commodity and we are purchasing raw material for the production of that commodity, so we have to pay for those raw materials. So we can define the cost as expenditures made on purchase of raw materials for the production of commodity. And when we talk about the cost function, it is the functional relationship between output and cost of production. As we know, cost depends upon the production. Higher the production, higher is the raw materials required. So higher the production, higher will be the cost. As you produce more and more, you need to purchase more and more raw materials, and for purchase of more and more raw materials you have to pay more and more. So expenses are more, that means the costs are high when we produce more units of a commodity. Let us move forward. Now the types of cost. What types of cost we are having? We are having short run costs, long run costs. So these costs are differentiated on the basis of time period, and we have already I have already explained you the short run production and the long run production as well. We are having explicit costs and implicit costs. Let us explain these costs one by one. Short run costs. When we talk about short run production, in short run there are some fixed factors of production and there are variable factors of production. So in short run we are spending money on fixed factors of production as well and variable factors of production as well. So short run cost, it is the sum total of fixed cost and variable cost, because we are having fixed factors of production and the expenses made on fixed factors is known as fixed cost, and expenses made on variable factors of production is known as variable cost. So it is the sum total of fixed cost and variable cost incurred during the process of production. As we know, in short run some factors are fixed and some are variable. And long run costs are the expenditures incurred on the factors of production during the process of production. In longer period of time there are no fixed factors, so we don't have fixed cost component in long run. Remember this thing, in long run we don't have fixed cost component, but in case of short run there is fixed cost component and there is variable cost component as well. So short run costs are composed of fixed and variable cost, but in case of long run there are only variable costs. In your syllabus there is short run costs only, long run costs are not in your syllabus. So let us move forward. Let us define explicit and implicit cost. Explicit cost and implicit cost. When we talk about a firm, when we talk about a producer, when a producer is producing a commodity, when a firm is producing a commodity, that firm is going to employ factor inputs, that firm is going to purchase factory inputs, or we can say raw materials, to produce that commodity. And what are those factory inputs? We know the factors of production: land, labor, capital is there, entrepreneurship is there, or we can say electricity. Electricity is there because we need to pay for electricity as well. Raw materials are there. So a, a producer, a firm is spending money on the purchase of these raw materials. But sometimes a firm or a producer is having some self-owned inputs. For example, if a producer is having his own land and he is using his land for and he is constructing a plant there, and then he is producing a commodity, that means he need not pay rent for that piece of land, because that piece of land belongs to the producer. So that is the self-owned input. So during the process of production, we have to pay to the we have to pay for the raw materials which we purchase from the market, and we need not to pay on those raw materials which we have with ourselves. That is self-owned inputs. So explicit cost is the expenditure incurred by a firm to purchase or hire the inputs from the market for the production process. These include wage, rent, interest, etc. If we purchase labor, then we have to pay the wage. If we use land or building, we have to pay rent for that. And if we borrow from the bank, we have to pay the interest. And these explicit costs are also called as accounting costs. Now look at these explicit costs. The important feature of these explicit costs are that we have to pay to the others. And when we purchase these raw materials from the market from others, then we have to pay them. But in case of implicit cost is estimated cost of inputs owned by the firm and used by the firm in its own production process. When a producer or a firm is having some self-owned inputs like piece of land, or if a producer is working there in during the process of production, so he is not purchasing labor from the market. At that time, he need not pay wages to the others, because he is working there as a laborer, and it includes payment for owned premises, self-invested capital. If we are having sufficient amount of money, if we are having huge amount of money and we are investing that amount of money, we need not to pay interest to the bank or to any other lender, because we are having our own capital. Then we need not to pay the interest. So these are implicit costs, and these collectively, explicit cost plus implicit cost, these are known as economic cost. And when we talk about the price of a commodity, both implicit cost and we will talk about the cost of production. Cost of production includes both explicit cost and implicit cost. Why implicit cost? Because if you don't have those self-owned raw materials, you have to purchase those raw materials from the market. So you have to pay for that. So those raw materials, those self-owned materials, those possess some value. Let us move to next. So in short-term cost, there are total cost, average cost, and marginal cost. So these are the three concepts of short-term cost: total cost, average cost, and marginal cost. Total cost of production, when we talk about in case of short-term, because we are having short-term production, so there are some fixed factors and there are some variable factors. So total cost is composed of total fixed cost, the expenditure incurred on fixed factors of production, plus total variable cost, expenditure incurred on the variable factors of production. So TC is equal to TFC, total fixed cost, plus TVC, total variable cost. Let us define this total fixed cost and total variable cost one by one. Total fixed cost, you can see the schedule and diagram. Look at the output, 0. When output is 0, still there is total fixed cost, that is 10. So if you don't produce anything, still you have made some expenses on the purchase of fixed factors of production like land, like machinery, etc. If you produce 1 unit of output, then total fixed cost still 1. It does not change with the change in output. Remember this thing. Total fixed cost does not change with the change in output. When output is 2, it is 10. When output is 3, it is 10. When output is 4, it is 10. So fixed costs do not change with the change in level of output. They are incurred irrespective of the level of output of a commodity. So we can say the fixed costs are the expenditures incurred on fixed factors of production. And you can see the diagram as well. This blue line parallel line to the x-axis, this shows total fixed cost remains constant. There is no change in total fixed cost with the change in output. So it is understood by the help of schedule and diagram. Now total variable cost. As we use variable factors of production as well in case of short run. So when we talk about the total variable cost, it is the expenditure incurred on variable factors of production, and these costs vary with the change in output. And this curve TVC, total variable cost, it is inverse S shaped, and you can see the diagram and schedule there. Output 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. When output is 0, that means no variable cost. There is no variable cost when output is 0. When you are producing 1 unit of output, total variable cost is 10. And when you are producing 2 units of output, it is 18. When you are producing 3 units of output, it is 30. And when you are producing 4 units of output, it is 45. So you can see total variable cost increases from 10 to 18, from 18 to 30, and from 30 to 45. You can see from 10 to 18 there is increase of for the first unit variable cost is 10. For the second unit there is increase of 8. So variable cost for the second unit is 8, and variable cost for the third unit it is 30 minus 18, that is 12, and for the fourth unit it is 15. So initially this total variable cost is increasing at decreasing rate up to second unit of output, and beyond the second unit of output it is increasing at increasing rate. That is why this is inverse S shaped, you can see. And one more thing, up to second unit of output there are increasing returns to the variable factor. That is why your we can see here the marginal cost, at that time marginal cost is decreasing, and that is why here total cost is increasing at decreasing rate. And beyond that point, beyond second unit of output, your marginal cost is increasing. That is why total variable cost is increasing at increasing rate. That is why it is inverse S shaped. See the schedule and diagram. Output, total fixed cost, total variable cost, and total cost. Because total cost is summation of total fixed cost plus total variable cost. When output is 0, total cost is 10, 10 plus 0. When output is 1, total cost is 20, 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. For 2 units of output it is 28, 10 plus 18. For 3 units of output is 10 plus 24, 34. For 4 units of output is 10 plus 32, that is 42, sorry. And for the 5 units it is 10 plus 42, that is 52. And for 6 units it is 10 plus 55, that is 65. And you can see that blue line, it is total fixed cost. You can see it is a yellow line also. This is total variable cost, and this purple line it is total cost, because total cost is composed of total fixed cost and total variable cost. Let's move forward. Now we have one more concept, that is average cost. It is denoted by AC, average cost. And average cost is having two components, average fixed cost component and average variable cost component. Average cost is the cost per unit of commodity. If you are producing 100 units of commodity and total cost is 1000, what will be the cost of per unit of commodity? It will be 1000 divided by 100, that is 10. So average cost is equal to total cost divided by output of commodity. Say it is, say let us take that X. So total cost, you can see total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. So total cost divided by output is average cost, then it is equal to total fixed cost divided by x output plus total variable cost divided by x, that is output, and TC divided by x is average cost, and TFC divided by x is average fixed cost, and TVC divided by x is average variable cost. When we talk about variable cost per unit of output, it is so average cost is equal to average fixed cost plus average variable cost. You can see in schedule and diagram as well. Units of output 1, 2, 3, 4. Total cost is 20, 28, 40 and 55. And average cost is TC divided by output. Then 20 divided by 1 it is 20. 28 divided by 2 it is 14. 40 divided by 3 it is 13.3. And 55 divided by 4 it is 13.8. And you can see initially average cost is declining from 20 to 14, 14 to 13.3, then it starts increasing from 13.3 to 13.8. So you can see in diagram as well, it is U-shaped. AC curve is U-shaped. You can see in diagram it is U-shaped. Initially it declines, reaches to minimum, then it starts increasing. And up to minimum point, to the left of minimum point, there are increasing returns to variable factor, and from the to the right of that minimum point there are decreasing returns to variable factor. As I already told you, there are two components in average cost, that is average fixed cost component and average variable cost component. Average fixed cost is defined as cost of producing per unit of fixed cost of producing per unit of commodity. If you are having if total fixed cost is 10, then for the first unit of output average fixed cost it will be 10 divided by 1. For 2 units of second unit of output it will be 10 divided by 2, that is 5. For 3 units of output it will be 10 divided by 3, that is 3.3. And for 4 units of output it will be 2.5. As we know, average fixed cost is total fixed cost divided by units of output, x. And you can see the diagram as well, that blue curve, its shape is rectangular hyperbola. Shape of average fixed cost curve is rectangular hyperbola. And see, average fixed cost is always declining, but it never reaches to zero. Remember this thing, it is always declining but never touches x-axis. It is never zero. Average fixed cost is never zero, but it declines. Let's move forward. Average variable cost. Average variable cost is defined as the variable cost of producing per unit of commodity. That is total variable cost divided by units of output. And ABC is TVC divided by x. X is units of output. You can see the schedule and diagram as well. Units of output 1, 2, 3, 4. Total cost, total variable cost 10, 18, 30, 45. So average variable cost is 10 divided by 1 it is 10, 18 divided by 2 it is 9, 30 divided by 3 it is 10, and 45 divided by 4 it is 11.3. And you can see average variable cost curve. Initially it declines, reaches to minimum, then it starts increasing. 10, then it declines to 9, then it is further 10, after that it is 11.3. So initially it decreases, reaches to minimum, then it starts increasing. So this is average variable cost. Now the marginal cost. Marginal cost is defined as the addition made to the total cost when one more unit of output is produced. When we produce one more unit of output, the change in total cost is known as marginal cost. And MC is change in total cost divided by change in output. MC is equal to, we can also calculate marginal cost from the total variable cost, and MC is change in total variable cost with the change in output, or we can calculate marginal cost as total cost of n unit minus total cost of n minus 1 unit. So it can be explained with the help of schedule and diagram. See the schedule. Units of output 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and total variable cost. When output is 0, there is no variable cost. so variable cost is 0 and marginal cost is also 0. So for the first unit of output, total variable cost is 10, so marginal cost is 10. For second unit of for 2 units of output, total variable cost is 18. So for the second unit, there is 8 increase in total cost from 10 to 18. There is increase of 8. So the marginal cost, so change in total cost is 18 minus 10 when we produce one more unit of output from 1 to 2. So the change is 8, then marginal cost is 8. For the third unit, from 18 to 30, total variable cost change from 18 to 30. So the marginal cost is 12, 30 minus 18. And for the fourth unit, marginal cost is 45 minus 30, that is 15. You can see here the total cost curve. Total cost curve up to second unit. For first unit is 10, for second unit it is 18, for third unit it is 30, for fourth unit it is 45. And see the marginal cost. See the marginal cost. When this marginal cost is minimum, it is 8 at second unit of output. And at that time, from that point to the right of that point on upper panel, you can see total variable cost. It starts increasing at increasing rate, and up to that point it is increasing at decreasing rate. And you can see here total cost is area under marginal cost curve. Total variable cost, that total variable cost curve you can see in upper panel, and in lower panel you can see marginal cost. And total variable cost is the area under marginal cost curve. You can see initially it declines, it reaches to minimum, and then it starts increasing. So this is U-shaped. The shape of marginal cost curve is U-shaped. And after second unit of output, that portion in which marginal cost curve is declining, that shows the increasing returns to variable factor, and that portion which shows increasing marginal cost, that is beyond that second unit of output, it shows decreasing returns to variable factor. Decreasing returns to variable factor. So it is because of we can say that because of decreasing returns to variable factor, that from 2 units of output to the right of 2 units of output it starts increasing. That is why it is U-shaped. Initially it declines, reaches to minimum, then it starts increasing. So this was all about the cost, and I hope you understood this topic very well. And if you are having any doubt, you can clear your doubts by making a call, or you can clear your doubts via WhatsApp also. And thank you very much.